How does CBT work? Imagine 3 factors: how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. And imagine that each can impact the other, and that's why they're overlapping. The idea with CBT is that if we can change how we think, how we feel, and how we behave will be impacted as well. If it was simply a matter of changing how we feel, we would do it. And maybe that would work in the short term, but it typically doesn't work in the long term. We can also change how we behave, but there's usually an underlying reason for why we go back to a previous behavior. So it leads us to how we think as the point of entry. And so with CBT, part of the process is identifying the underlying thoughts, the things that we're saying to ourselves about ourselves that are impacting how we feel and how we behave. Once we can identify what those underlying thoughts are, we can challenge them. And by challenging them, we're likely going to come up with an alternative thought that's more healthy or productive. So let's say, for example, that the underlying thought is, I'm always a failure. And you can imagine that thinking to yourself, I'm always a failure, how that would impact how someone would feel on a daily basis and the way they would go about their life. If that could be challenged, perhaps the alternate thought could be something like, I've succeeded in some things and there's some things that I'm still working on. And again, consider how that could change how someone would feel about themselves and how they would go about their daily life. So that's CBT in a nutshell.